This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. Lend my voice to those who can. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome to the Special Chronicles show in our ComEd EnergyForce series, Season 6, Pt6, Tools for the Customer. My name is Daniel Smikowski, and I'm the founder of Special Chronicles and a Special Olympics Southern Striver International Global Messenger and a ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador. Our website, specialchronicles.com. That's specialchronicles.com. You can stream archives of over 750 episodes absolutely for free. And follow Special Chronicles on social media, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you listen or watch your favorite podcast. This week on the Special Chronicles show, we're continuing our ComEd EnergyForce series, Season 6, Part 6, talking about tools for the customer for my account, ComEd mobile app, social media, and events. So please put your virtual hands together as we welcome Patrick Newman and Daniel Dwade from ComEd. Welcome to the Special Chronicles show, Daniel and Patrick. Welcome.
Hey, how are you doing, Daniel?
Good to have you both on. I think Patrick turned his camera off, but it's all good. I know I had to do a quick costume change before we went on camera here, and so good to have you on. And I know this is a topic that a lot of our listeners will be really into. Will be really informative for a lot of our listeners who might not know that much about either from the My Account to the app. And so let's begin and have you both introduce yourself to our listeners, who you are, and briefly about your job working on tools for the ComEd customers.
So my name is Patrick Newman. I'm a senior program manager at ComEd. I've been here for about 6.5 years. A lot of what I do is looking at enhancements for our customers. So that's in technical enhancements, related to the mobile app. I'm also a product owner for what's called our web maintenance backlog. What that is looking at our code fixes for our websites and things like that, and other kind of fixes that along with, some of the digital applications that ComEd uses. I was actually on the project for the mobile app as well a couple years ago too as well. So it's been a fun experience seeing some of these digital channels grow these past few years.
Awesome.
So my name is Daniel Andrade. I'm a social media web analyst in our eChannels team. Currently work on customer escalations regarding the mobile app, web support, and things like that. I'm the business owner for the bill and payment functions on the website. So any enhancements, any advice that we could give that team on enhancing those functions, it's something I work on.
Awesome. Well, that means that you two are the perfect guest when we talk about tools for the customer, and I'm glad to have you both on. This is our monthly EnergyForce series, Season 6, Part 6, Episode 538 of the Special Chronicles show. We will continue after this short break right here on SpecialChronicles.com. Support for Special Chronicles comes from listeners like you. As an independent public media podcast, Special Chronicles will always be there for you. Now we're asking you to be there for us. As a nonprofit independent media organization, we can only make programs like Special Chronicles with listener support. Our programs provide weekly, candid, honest, and inspiring conversations about the people with disabilities community that creates awareness, support, and advocacy within each week's episode. Listeners tell us our shows are an enjoyable and necessary podcast for the intellectual and developmental disability community and everyone else who is able to listen to stories about life from a different angle. Please, if you and your family love our weekly podcasts, make a one-time, monthly, or annual gift of thanks today. support this podcast at specialchronicles.com/give. That's specialchronicles.com/give. Our guests this week on the Special Chronicles show are Patrick and Daniel. Patrick is a senior program manager with ComEd, and Daniel, the social media web analyst. And so let's dive right into, because we're trying to keep these ComEd EnergyForce series in nice 30-minute chunks of information. I don't know if you can say chunks of information, but I guess it works. I'm just going to pass it on to both you, Patrick and Daniel, to walk us through the My Account on what it is, how to register, as well as to review with us tools within the My Account that can assist the customer. Everything from viewing bill, make a payment, usage, notifications. If there's a storm with the outage and programs such as eBill and AutoPay, can you walk us through everything that has to do with what is and how to register with the My Account?
Sure. So we'll go through how the My Account, how to register everything. So first of all, what is a My Account? So a My Account is an online service platform for our customers. With a My Account, customers can view their account information, pay their bill, view detailed energy usage information, and so much more. So who is the My Account for? It's for our residential customers, our business and commercial customers. The features available are account information, view your current bill, review your account history, pay your current bill, view detailed energy usage, enroll in personalized notifications, and check outage status. So here, the little screen grab is what a My Account would look like. The features available on your home page would be to view your bill, pay your bill, enroll in NER payment functions, and notification preferences. Next page, we're going to show you what you would need and how to sign up for a ComEd My Account. So what you'll need to sign up for a My Account is a valid email address. Any email address, as long as a valid email address. Anything available on your statement would be your phone number or your account number that you could use. You could also use combinations of phone number, last 4 digits of your Social Security, and TIN. If you don't have that information, there's also the method of using your account number and last 4 digits of your Social or TIN. And if you don't have that, so account number and zip code would be the best and fastest way to start the registration process for your My Account. Next, we'll go over the tools available to help customers save money. So these are your usage tools to view your current usage and things like that, and keep track of your usage, and that way you could save money in the long run. So this would be available in the homepage under My Insights. Under My Insights would be compare your current bill to a previous bill, view your projected bill, compare your usage to your neighbors, and view your detailed usage. So Patrick, can you go over the tools to help the customer?
Sure. So a lot of these tools, we really believe in terms of giving more customers more data and things like this, just so they can kind of understand how their usage is affected. And most importantly is, how they can reduce it. A lot of our really kind of the platforms we integrate within the My Account, like Danny said, is we offer multiple different ways to sign up and log in. So combinations, customers not necessarily always have their bill on hand. So we give them, a couple different routes in terms of getting access to their account within the registration. But in terms of these My Insights cards, we find these very popular for our customers. A lot of people want to understand is, hey, why is my bill changing? Or, what is my bill going to look like? So like the view my projected bill is, it can kind of determine to show you at your current consumption rate is what your bill possibly may be in terms of a projection and a monetary value for the next bill. So let's say, if my last bill was, let's say $100, it may say your projection for next month, it's getting summer. So people, turning on the air and stuff. It could be $110, $115. So it really kind of lets them understand some of the consumption, as well as then most importantly, and how to reduce that, things like that. And then one of the most popular ones we've seen over the past few years is to compare my usage to my neighbors. It kind of lets you know where you stand with your usage and consumption against some of the other folks in your area. It doesn't necessarily mean the person across the street from you. It is a pool of people within a general location around your area. But it lets you kind of see is like if you're being an efficient neighbor, if you're using, less energy than some other folks. So it really helps customers have some insights into their own usage and then terms their own footprint, I'll call it, within, the power grid itself.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that that's definitely something that we share as EnergyForce ambassadors, is how to save money. So I'm glad you shared that tip with our listeners. I'll let you both continue with the viewing the bill with my account.
Sure. And like you said, and that's really one of the biggest things that we try to drive with these digital channels, like the website, the My Account, and the mobile app, is helping customers understand how to reduce their usage and reduce, their savings, so they can, save more money on their bills and stuff like that. This is kind of what it shows on the website. So if you were to log into your account, ComEd account, and you click on the My Insights card, this shows the comparison.
Oh, it looks like Patrick's audio got muted.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah, so this card here will look like, will show you what it would be in terms of the comparison between your last week bill, your last previous bill, and your current bill. So it just kind of helps them show from a digital, simple bar graph that, this is what your previous bill was and this is what your current bill is looking like. Really empowers them to show them how to save more money and really what, the current projection they're going at within their usage. We find these to be very popular with our customers, so they can kind of understand is, hey, oh, wait, I'm using less energy this month, or I may be using more energy this month. It kind of lets them, empower the customers to kind of reduce their usage or increase it if they need to.
Awesome. And you guys want to?
Yeah. So this is the View My Projected Bill as well tool under My Insights. So this is pretty much forecasting with your current usage data that you're using within your meter and things like that. It's recording your current usage and it's projecting what your bill will look like at the end of the once your statement closes. So for example, this bill is projected to be $44. And you've spent $9 so far this bill period. So if you're seeing your bill is accumulating in higher amounts, you might say, at this point, I'm going to stop using so much energy. I'm going to turn off the lights. I'm going to turn off my TV. I'm going to unplug this and that. So if you want a lower bill, this is kind of helping you to forecast and what your bill will look like at the close of the statement. And as well as showing you, hey, you have low usage or you have a low statement so far, and this is you could probably use more usage if you needed to. But we just want to give a little statement that this is not what your actual bill will be. This is a projection. It's an estimate. It doesn't include like any taxes or anything like that. So this is just a projection and an estimation of what your bill will look like. The next one would be under the My Insights tool is to compare my usage to my neighbors. So currently showing you how you compare to the neighbors around you. Just a little note as well. So this is not your direct neighbor that's next to your house. So this is about 100 customers within a certain mountain radius within your household. So it wouldn't be your next door neighbor. So this is showing you how you compare to the other 100 customers within that mile radius, and how your usage compares to that, and how you can lower your usage and things like that. I think the next slide. Oh, the detailed usage. So the detailed usage tool here, it shows you what your actual usage is. So customers with smart meters, they get this information within 24 to 36 hours. Here it's currently showing you during your bill view, and this is your current statement that runs from 29 days. It's showing you what your current usage is, what's the cost of that usage day by day, It gives you what the weather is. So input, if the weather's higher, you might be using more usage as far as your air conditioner and things like that. And the next screen next to it on the right, it's showing you how many kilowatts you've used. So what day is, so May 17th is showing you that you've used 7 kilowatts, that you used 7 kilowatts that day, and the day before that you might have used 3. So this detailed usage is giving you the specific details on the usage of day compared to cost and kilowatts. Do you want us to keep going there, Daniel?
Yeah. Go ahead and keep going with the notifications. Once we get to the end of the My Account, then we'll take our next break.
Sure. So, Patrick, did you want to speak to the personalized notifications?
So one of the big things we like to offer our customers is the notifications. And what that really means is the sense of they can keep up to date with their accounts. Not only from, they're getting to show with a usage perspective, but also get updates, in terms from billing notifications, payment notifications, outage notifications. So just in case your power is out, and then usage notifications. Really kind of, those are broken out into 4 of our big subgroups that we have on the main dashboard page. And really what those go over. So from a billing perspective, you could look at, setting a payment reminder. If your payment is past due, and there are thresholds for each. So if you want to have a payment reminder, let's say 4 days before your bill's due, just so you know, like, hey, oh, wait, my bill's coming up. Things like that. For payment notifications, the same thing as well, is that if your payment is past due and things like that. Outage notifications is pretty straightforward. That is, if your power is out or if your power has been restored. And one of the cool things about the outage notifications is we make that, it's called a dynamic power card. So when your power is out, it automatically goes to the top of the website. So like when you log into your account and let's say your power, there's a storm that comes through, knocks out the power, it's automatically going to be at the top of your dashboard, letting you know your power is out, and then you can sign up for notifications right here. The same thing with usage notifications, letting you know that, if you're using more usage, a high usage alert, we call it, is an HUA, lets you know that, if you've been using more usage than you typically do, just lets you know from a notification standpoint that, you are trending in that direction. And then as well as a weekly usage report. I sign up for all of these personally because I like to learn about my usage to see what I'm kind of doing, and make it like a little contest out of it. And really kind of let you drill down. And really, we like to think that this information really empowers our customers really to put their usage and consumption in their own hands. And really staying up to date with these notifications is a really good tool kind of to help empower them with that.
Awesome. Well, it seems like a lot of times, I know this as an EnergyForce ambassador, a lot of times when we go out to events, people always say, oh, my ComEd bill is so high. And what I think is so empowering and impactful, that especially what you guys are sharing with these tools for the customer, is that if someone's bill is so high, there's these tools such as this My Account, we'll get to in a moment with in the next segment with the ComEd mobile app, but in particular to these notifications that you said, if all listeners follow these tools that you're giving them, then their ComEd bill won't be as high. It works in line with the energy efficiency. So it's like it sounds to me, in everything in hearing this presentation of everything that you're sharing on the program today, is that all these tools is to help the customers to save money and to be more efficient, so that way their bill is not that high, right?
Absolutely, and that's what you hit it right on the head. That's one of the biggest things I think that is driving a lot of these changes, is not only transparency. We want to make sure the customers, are aware of what they're using, but also the tools to help them reduce it and then understand it. So that's one of the biggest things, because I hear that all the time. Family and friends too think that, my bill's so high, and I go, guys, well, what are you doing proactively to look at it? Have you checked in this? Have you looked at your comparisons? And like Danny said, is that, have you tried, we have like, we call them tips. So like, it could be, some days are hotter, is it your weather's, your window ceilings are, good, things like that. So it really does. We want to help the customers really understand how they're using their energy, but the most importantly, how to reduce it so they can lower their bills. Because we think that's a really good point for them to understand too moving forward.
Yep. I agree and everything. Thank you for sharing your insight working with the customers, Daniel. Like you said, these tools are definitely there to help the customer as far as just help them save money and ways to save money and things like that. So those tools under the my usage notifications here, you mentioned how customers want to know when they're trending towards a higher bill or and things like that. So the high usage alert tool there, you can set thresholds here. I think as far as a dollar amount or kilowatts is how much you've used, and it'll notify you when you've hit that threshold and telling you, hey, you're trending over to a higher bill. So these tools definitely are customer centric. We're looking for ways to definitely help our customer with these tools, and looking through their perspective.
Awesome. Is this now a good time to go to our next sponsor break?
Sure.
Before we move on to the mobile app. So we're going to go ahead. For those of you listening, it is free for you to listen to our podcast on specialchronicles.com, but it does cost us money every month to bring you these programs to listen and watch, from everything from our website hosting to the audio podcast hosting to the live stream full video episodes, and even the lights in the studio. I mean, speaking of in the studio, I mean, so we like right now I don't have the lights on. I've got a lamp here, I've got a light over me, but none of the lights are on. I'm using the natural light in the small studio here. So even I'm being energy efficient in the studio. But with that, we all listener and partner funded on this podcast. So we'll go ahead and take a short break right here on specialchronicles.com. We'll continue to talk about tools for the customer right here on specialchronicles.com when we return. Support for Special Chronicles comes from ComEd. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with the ComEd EnergyForce Ambassador Program. The EnergyForce is the country's first energy efficiency education program designed for and taught by people with disabilities. ComEd is powering lives, and Rary is powering us here at Special Chronicles to keep the lights on and our technology is powered on. As ComEd powers the lives of us, they are literally giving a voice to people with special needs. We thank ComEd for the generous support of our mission at Special Chronicles. Learn more at specialchronicles.com/ComEd. That's specialchronicles.com/ComEd. Support for Special Chronicles comes from United Airlines Bridge Disability Business Resource Group. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with United Airlines and the Bridge BLG. Bridge BLG is committed to being an ally for all employees and customers with disabilities. Bridge helps to create internal awareness to keep accessibility needs in mind and partner with key organizations to empower disability inclusion for employment and travel. Bridge, connecting people of all abilities. Book your travel today on United.com or on the award-winning United app. Learn more on United's commitment to disability inclusion for employment and travel at specialchronicles.com/United. That's specialchronicles.com/United. And I guess Patrick and Daniel, and we're talking about tools for the customer. This is our EnergyForce series, season 6, part 6. And I don't know if you guys noticed backstage, but I did advance the next slide so we can get ready for the next segment. All about being efficient on the podcast. But moving right along, can you give us a quick overview of the ComEd mobile app that is another tool that ComEd offers for customers?
Sure. So the ComEd mobile app is one of our latest kind of enhancements in the last few years that we're really proud of here within our company and eChannels, our department. This is something that we feel that a lot of customers and everybody knows that we're all on the go nowadays. People really like the mobile experience within using mobile apps on their phone. And with the ComEd mobile app, we allow you to do almost all the functionality you can do with your ComEd My Account on the website. So that's make payments, that's report outages, view your billing, view your usage. All of that is centralized within the ComEd mobile app. It has a lot of the same features as the web, the same digital experience that you would have when accessing your account on a computer or desktop. And really, as we find that, customers nowadays, and as people, we all evolve here. People are really much more centered on their phones. So this is, something we're really proud of to have launched and to really have it grow. Is you can see here from the screenshot, it lets you know what when your bill is due, if you want to make an early payment, if you want to sign up for auto pay, any of that information is really within the app as well. And it's kind of a cool way to kind of, like we said, keep up to date with your account, and then also to see, how you're doing with your usage and if your power's out. So let's say, your power's out and you need to report your power out. Obviously, you can't do it on a desktop because your computer doesn't work and you have no power. It allows you to report an outage on the app as well. And check the power status. So you may be running around with your kids or at a show or an event. It lets you know if storms are coming through. If you do have an outage at home, the mobile app is something that we find being very cool and very intuitive for our customers to use.
Awesome, and it definitely sounds like a very well in this society of where everything is mobile, and I've got my phone right here next to the microphone here, but everything is mobile. So even though we do a lot of stuff on the computer, but everything is mobile, whether you have kids or you're just running around, it's so much is mobile dependent. And it can I don't know if Daniel, if you want to touch on anything, or if what we talked about in the last segment about the My Account, can our listeners access the My Account on the mobile app, or is that? Yeah, and then
so definitely all the features that are in your My Account on your web browser, if you access that way, that's going to be available on your ComEd mobile app. So it's all available within your ComEd mobile app. Just opening the app, signing in, and everything's available, from making a payment, viewing your bill, viewing your usage. The same usage tools that you saw that we presented on your My Account, those same usage tools are available on your ComEd mobile app for you to keep track of your usage as well. And as Patrick mentioned, your power outage tool, I think that's the greatest feature on or one of the greatest feature on our ComEd mobile app is reporting an outage and viewing right away. You click on the outage tab that's available at the bottom. You could click that tab and it'll tell you what your current power status is. It's telling you your power's on, your power is currently out, and the next steps that you should follow if your power is out and things like that. So definitely great tools on this ComEd mobile app and easy to access.
Awesome. So, and we'll put a link in the show notes on specialchronicles.com for this episode 538, but also on our partner page on specialchronicles.com/ComEd. I try to put a list of a lot of the resources that we have on this, that's a part of this series. Is there a direct, I'm sure most people will probably just, when you're listening, you just pull up the app on the iOS or Google Play, and we'll probably just search for ComEd mobile app. But is there is that the best place? Like, do people just go to their app store and just search for ComEd mobile app? Is that the best place to find?
Yes, you actually just did perfectly said. I was just going to say the app is available both the Google Play Store and the iTunes Store. So you can just download it there for if you're an iPhone user or an Android user, and then you can register like you do with the My Account. You enter your phone number or your account number and such, any one of those variations, and then once you sign up, you'll see like the little screenshot on the right. It'll say "Good afternoon," it lets you know your balance, when your bill is due. And then, we talked about the power status card, but both are available in iOS and Android respective stores.
Awesome. And I'm assuming if it's morning or evening, will it also say good morning or good evening?
It does actually. Yeah, it is dynamic like that.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to put these the information in the show notes on specialchronicles.com to where you all can go, and I probably won't link to it, but we'll put the name of the app in the show notes, so for all of you listening, you can all go and search for it. If you just listen to us on audio, then go check out the full video podcast on YouTube, Special Chronicles. We're going to take one final break, and we'll get to some final thoughts and a quick discussion on social media and events when we return right here on SpecialChronicles.com. We'll be right back. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting, the easiest, most affordable option to get started in podcasting. At Special Chronicles, we proudly host our weekly podcast with Podbean and highly recommend you use Podbean Podcast Hosting to get started in podcasting today. Sign up for an unlimited hosting plan and get 1 month free now to get started in podcasting today when you visit specialchronicles.com/Podbean. That's specialchronicles.com/Podbean. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard, the easiest way to create professional live streams. StreamYard is a live streaming studio in your browser. Interview guests, share your screen, and much more. Stream directly to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and other platforms. Sign up for StreamYard today using our StreamYard referral link when you visit specialchronicles.com/StreamYard. That's specialchronicles.com/StreamYard. I guess Patrick and Daniel, as we wrap up this episode talking about tools for the customer. Sorry, those sponsor breaks come up so fast when trying to text during the break. Anyways, can you both, Patrick and Daniel, share with us, because the first couple of segments of the beginning of the program, I know we're a little bit over the half-hour mark, but it's been very valuable information from everything from my account to the ComEd mobile app. Like, can you kind of share with us a quick discussion on social media as well as events that are coming up?
Yeah, definitely. So we do have a social media team under our e-channels team. That's where they send out all communications for our customers to give them knowledge on things upcoming and things that ways to save, upcoming events, where they could help the customer, financial assistance and things like that, but also how to reach the customer. So we are on different social media platforms. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and things like that. So if a customer wants to reach us with anything, and let us know, inform us of anything, that's definitely our social media team is there to help them out and give them guidance or reach out or listen to what issue they might have. Definitely, that's how our social media team works. I know with storms as well, our social media team is there to communicate customers how if storms are coming, how to prepare for them, if they have current outage, the next steps they should do if they have an outage, how to report it and things like that. So very helpful social media team, how to communicate and help the customer and things like that.
Awesome. And then just a quick note when it comes to events. So this episode of the podcast is airing the 7th of August, and so it's okay. But those of you listening to the audio podcast, if you watch the full video podcast on our YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, you'll see on the screen a couple events. So I guess we just want to put that disclaimer out there that this episode is airing the 7th of August. So with that in mind.
Yeah. So I'll go over the top two for very briefly. So Chinatown Summer Fair will be there. The available things at the fair is performances, street vendors, and array of merchandise. So ComEd will be there, presence, just to let the customer know we're there. Any questions they have, we're there and representing. The EV rally, it's for 45 young women and 9 teams will be working to race electric go-karts, so that we're looking for women to be involved in our STEM programs, involved in STEM, and better reach out to the community, involve everybody in these type of programs. So the last one's Walk to End Alzheimer's. So this is ComEd chooses a cause every year to contribute to help and to donate and things like that, where events surrounding this cause. So our cause of this year is Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's will be participating in that. All donations are going to be going to that. So that's going to be taking part in September 17th, I believe, in Naperville, and October 7th in Chicago. So we'll be there representing, to participating in Alzheimer's, contributing to the donations and things like that.
Awesome. And to introduce our final question, we're going to go ahead and roll a bumper to introduce that final question as we wrap up, talking about tools and the customers with Patrick and Daniel right here on Special Chronicles.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising, peaceful protesters
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Our demands are
equality,
dignity,
and the recognition of our
shared humanity. We will not stop or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
more divided than ever.
And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution
is inclusion. Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
So ever since I attended the 2019 Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi, I've been concluding with this final question, and I'm going to kind of combine two final questions because in our Special Olympics movement, just like you at Special Chronicles, and I'm sure at ComEd, inclusion is a big part in all of our organizations, whether it's ComEd, Special Olympics, Special Chronicles. And so I'm going to kind of combine two final questions for you both as we wrap up. Can you share any final thoughts on your overall time meal today on the Special Chronicles show, as well as what does inclusion mean to you?
Sure. So, I mean, for me, I think this has been incredibly, impactful in engaging, Daniel. So I really appreciate your time today, because I think this highlighting some of these tools and things for our customers is important, and just really kind of getting the word out there so people better understand. Because a lot of times people, just don't understand how they can access this stuff. So I think that is very, very, it's knowledgeable, and knowledge is always shared. That's how you gain it. So I think that's a very positive thing. And then for me, inclusion is one of our core principles. And I'll say this, that, for me personally, I think that, not just studies, but data has shown that, people with diverse backgrounds and other things, you come together, it yields greater innovation and greater success. So, when people come from different backgrounds and different life experiences and different cultures, it always comes to, to a focal point where I think, where we can achieve greater things. So for me, inclusion in that retrospect, we may not always agree with everybody, but that's okay. But I think that, when you incorporate yourself with different opinions and backgrounds, it can yield some great things. I think that's, for me, is, something I pride myself on, is working with folks that have different backgrounds and just different life experiences.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the first part of the question.
Oh, the first part is just final thoughts on coming on the program.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I appreciate having us and everything to show the customer the tools that can help them. This is important for them, customer-centric, looking for ways to help the customer save money and give them the self-service tools to be able to complete their transactions and things like that. Inclusion, what it means to me is looking at a person, even though they may be different, just being open to them, listening to what they have to say, the ideas they have. Like Patrick mentioned, diversity, it brings different ideas. People from different backgrounds are going to bring different ideas, different perspective, and things like that. So it brings great people together and by being open.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on the program. Our guests have been Patrick and Daniel from ComEd. We've been talking about tools for the customer, and stay subscribed to this podcast, because coming up in August 2023, we will have actor and pretty famous actor with Down syndrome, Madison Tuvlin, will be from the newly released Champions movie, will be returning on this podcast. Also, friends of the show, Edith and Jose, will join us to talk about the Miss Amazing organization, and we'll conclude with August with our Unified at Work series, featuring a DEI, that's Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, best practices presentation that I recently did with my good friend, United Airlines Chief Pilot, Captain Joe Mills. And so all that is coming up in August. So remember to keep following the Special Chronicles podcast. Or if you haven't done so already, tap that follow button or subscribe to the Special Chronicles podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any way you listen to your favorite shows. As new episodes drop weekly, don't miss our original content that will help you make impactful and inclusive connections in your life. Remember to visit specialchronicles.com. At specialchronicles.com, you can see my archives for free, and follow Special Chronicles on social media. And we'll talk to you next week right here on specialchronicles.com. And until then, remember, choose to include, and catch you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smukowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes for absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks as always to our business manager, Adam Smukowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smukowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special